Hi, it's Paris from Epic Reviews, and I spent the weekend changing out my wife's headlight bulbs on her 2006 Honda Accord. One bulb went out, but we decided since I was going to be in there anyway, I might as well replace both. And I didn't really spend the whole weekend. It was a Sunday afternoon. Wasn't as big a project as I anticipated based on looking online in advance to see what was involved. But it also didn't go as smoothly as I thought it would when I popped the hood and said, oh sure, I can get those out, no problem. So it ended up taking a couple hours. But one of the things I wasn't prepared for was when I went over to the AutoZone to pick up the bulbs, I didn't realize what a variety of bulbs that there were. And that the price actually goes from about $19.99 on the low end up to $60 on the high end. And so I tried to read on the back of the boxes about what the features were for the lights and so forth, the benefits and the costs, but I really wish that I had gone online ahead of time and learned a little bit more about the bulbs so I could have made a more informed decision about which type of bulbs to get, especially since I don't want to spend too many Sunday afternoons replacing bulbs frequently because they keep burning out. So I thought I'd share with you what I've learned, both from AutoZone and in replacing the bulbs and also checking them out online. This is a low beam headlight bulb for the Honda Accord. It fits in the headlight assembly, the big plastic piece. You have the low beam light and the high beam light. They look pretty similar. And this is basically what it is. And it fits in just like this. It fits in sideways into the back of the headlight assembly. And then down at the bottom, this plastic piece here, you can see the little prongs in there. That's what plugs into the power cord inside your car. You had to be very careful with these lights. This is the old one out of the car, so it doesn't really matter. But you can't touch with your hand or get any oil or grease on the glass portion of the bulb. It's a halogen bulb, and it basically gets so hot that having the oil on there and having that burn off can cause the bulb itself to explode. So it's best in changing the bulb out to wear some kind of disposable latex gloves. That's what I did in putting the new bulbs into the car. Now these bulbs that came out and the ones that I replaced with, they really looked almost identical, but there is a fair amount of difference. The original one, these guys, again, only one burned out, but I suspected the second one was going to follow along shortly, so I might as well replace them both. They lasted 7 years and about 120,000 miles. Not a great deal of nighttime driving, predominantly daytime driving, but a fair amount of, in the winter, I'd say the evening commute for my wife was probably in the dark, so a fair number of hours in dark. Anyway, they lasted 7 years. So, went to the AutoZone and saw the myriad options of lights, of headlight replacements. Seemed like Sylvania, at least at that store, is the main brand. And I saw all the different prices and didn't know what was what. They do put a chart on the back that you can look at that goes from over here, the cheapest bulbs at about $20 for a pair, over to the most expensive bulbs, which run about $60 a pair. Now you can get these cheaper online. I'll put a link down below so you can read people's reviews of the different types of lights and see what you think. But you notice here all the single bars for brightness and wide range and all this. You know, oh my gosh, that's a terrible bulb. But the selling point, the strong point of the cheapest bulb is the bottom category, which is longevity. Because if you get over here to your $60 bulbs, you'll say, oh, look at all the light they produce. Yeah, but for how long? So I decided to go with a mid-range one, which is the one that's darkened in here, that it's brighter than the original bulb that came with it, but shorter in longevity. And so from what I've learned, the cheapest bulb here is going to be the most similar to the one that came with the car, and you should get quite a few years out of it, but it's not going to win any contests on brightness. The one that I went with was $5 more. It's supposedly about 30% brighter. However, it's probably going to last about 3 to 4 years, so about half as long as the cheapest one, interestingly. The middle one they didn't actually have there, and then these most expensive ones that put out tons of light, they are expected to last only about a year. So you're going to be back in there changing those bulbs out again pretty quickly. Now you do have one more choice in bulbs when you go out shopping because the bulbs burned out. It's HIR bulbs. It's halogen infrared reflecting bulbs, which use a special technology. I think Philips is the only company that makes these bulbs anymore. And they put a special coating inside that reflects the infrared heat given off by the bulb back onto the filament so it glows brighter is the idea. Supposedly they're actually about twice as bright as the bulbs that come stock in the car. So that's certainly a big improvement. The price is about probably twice what you're going to pay for this level of bulb, the one that I decided to go with, which is 30% brighter than stock. They're supposedly well designed, where they put the filament in the right location so that the light still projects out in the right way. Sometimes if you change out to a different type of bulb, you get scattered light instead of the focused head beam light. And they're not that blue xenon kind of bulb. They're whiter than this type of bulb is, but it's regular, standard, legal type of light bulb. So that is another option you can look into. I'll put a link down below also for that type of bulb if you want to spend a little more money but get quite a bit more light out in front of your car at night. The most important thing, of course, is not to drive around with just the one headlight, because you're definitely only get half the light that way. So I just replaced the bulbs in the Honda 2006 Accord, so I'll put a link to that over here in case you're in the same situation and want to see what I did to replace it. So it's a project you can certainly do on a weekend afternoon, but be sure you look up the bulbs and do some research on them before you get to AutoZone or wherever you're going to go to buy them.